Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Hi, this is Zak Mirhighlights with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Friday the 26th of March, and not quite as grim a day as it was yesterday. Starting off with Argo Blockchain, where you can see that shares had a little peep below the 200 pence level, that last 195 floor there in February key level, and we just bear trap below that, the low yesterday down to 190 and then back up again. Probably given the delay that we've had to the upside argument, you probably want to wait to see whether the February resistance line there at £2.43 level with the 20-day moving average is broken before assuming the big target there towards £5 on a 2 to 3 month time frame. Upside still valid very much while we're above the 50-day moving average, £1.85. There's also the support there from the floor of the gap from last month, but at this stage 185 is probably enough in terms of risk on the Argo Blockchain technical position. Next up, a stock which I rejected yesterday, probably just because it was such a dull day, but had a good close for Aminex yesterday, and that close around the 0.52 level, clearing out the resistance over the last couple of months. The view at this stage is that while we're above that close, 0.52, looking towards a target here at the top of that December resistance line or December price channel at 0.8 pence as soon as the end of next month. Onto a stock which I haven't given as much coverage to as maybe I should have, Audioboom, maybe haunted by the stock's history beforehand a few years ago, but the current situation is that we're in a prime bull situation, rising trend channel there from the end of September, top of the channel heading towards £6.50, and that could be seen as soon as the end of next month. This stage only back below the peak there at £4.75 in the middle of the month, really delaying the upside scenario. Looks very well set indeed. Moving along to a stock which has delivered the goods in terms of the upside scenario, at least the target we had before. We were looking for around 90 to 95 pence for Diurnal when it was in the 70 pence area, and that's been delivered. In fact, the peak 97 today. The view now is that an end of day close or a breakthrough the top of the channel there from July at 95 pence could trigger a fresh move to the upside up towards £1.20 over the next 1 to 2 months, but that is obviously the best case scenario at the moment. Here the shares have obviously delivered over the near term quite well. Always difficult to know or to deal with stocks which spike up as sharply as Ferro-Alloy Resources, but here we've had a rebound from above former resistance, well above former resistance in the mid-teens area or the upper teens area, low yesterday at 26 pence, and while we're above that, looking for the a retest of this month's peak at 45 pence by the end of next month. If you're looking for a decent signal, a decent one would be an end of day close above the top of the gap that we left yesterday. The top of the gap there at 29 pence, an end of day close above that would just confirm maybe to the doubters that the shares are back on a bullish trajectory. Onto a stock which has been somewhat problematic since it came to market, GILD Esports. Here we see the shares continuing to bump along the bottom, the lows between 5 and 5.5 since the autumn. The view now is that probably to get rid of the negative sweep, we want to see an end of day close back above that February resistance line and the 50-day moving average at 6.07 pence. Not too far away now, but if we get a weekly close above 6 pence either this week or next week, that should be enough to take the shares up to the top of a rising trend channel from November as high as 8 pence over the following 1 to 2 months. Moving along to a stock which has been quite a frequent flyer here, Itaconix. Here you can see that the shares gapped up to start the week, and despite yesterday's sad price action and today's as well in the markets, we've got the low at 5.84, the bottom of the gap there at 5.74, so we've held a gap, and while there's no end of day close back below 5.74, we're looking for a move towards the top of the rising trend channel from December as high as 10 pence. Normally a good sign, a good signal when a share or a market holds a near-term or the floor of a near-term gap. Another stock which hasn't got much airplay here, over the recent past is Jaywing, and here you can see that we've got decent price action with new support coming here, basically at and above former resistance, that old peak from December at 9 pence. So above 9 pence, looking for further gains, maybe significant gains. They could be up towards the top of a rising trend channel from back in September 2019, and that's promising a 2 to 3 month target here as high as 25 pence, as provided, of course, we remain above the 9 pence level. On to a much requested stock, and here it is again, Omega Diagnostics. You can see, hopefully when the chart appears, that we've been in a rising trend channel from the end of October, and if everything pans out as it should, if you're a bull, then we've hit and tested the floor of that rising channel yesterday with lows of 77 pence. So above that, looking for at least a rebound back towards the £1 area. But £1 has been a bit of a sticking point, obviously, end of February and today, and rather this month as well. So it would be a little premature to target £1.30 unless we can deliver some decent action, at least an end of day close through £1 before £1.30 can be assumed to be on its way. But decent rebound, at least today so far, off the floor of that rising trend channel. On to Rainbow Rare Earths, which was something of a star a couple of months ago. Did peak out through 20 pence and has come back also to test a support line here, one from October. 2-3 day support at or just below 14 pence, and the view here is that we can get a decent weekly close above the 50-day moving average at 15.88 pence. We could be on our way towards that October resistance line projection as high as 27 pence as soon as the end of next month. Just a couple of stocks to go now. Not a very high profile one coming up next, Safestay. But the chart certainly worth a look, given the gap through resistance that we've had through 20 pence resistance. Quite impressive today, and that suggests that while there's no end of day close back below the gap around 19 pence, we could see a move towards the top of that November trend channel as high as 30 pence by the end of next month. Finishing off with a popular play, and I'm not sure the shares have really earned that adulation just yet, but Vast Resources here, a higher low versus the support we had for the shares around the 0.085 pence level. So a better support this week for the shares above 0.09. Still looking for a retest of 0.15, the mid-March peak. If you're cautious on the stock, which quite a few people might be after all they've been through and all the charts delivered, then at least an end-of-day close above the 50-day moving average at 0.11 would be the trigger for a potential move to the upside. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.